Hey everybody, Andrew Zimmern here. Welcome to my Substack Spilled Milk Ask Me Anything. So this is a new thing that we've started at the end of the week. Basically, submit your questions into the threads where all these posts exist, and I select a handful of the best questions and I answer them. Sometimes seriously, sometimes not. DJBWA asked, or maybe that's an acronym, I'd love to know what chefs, dead or living, have inspired your own culinary career. So many. Obviously, all the chefs that I work for, none more so than the unknown folks who have toiled for generations in our industry to raise it up to the level that we are, so that chefs like myself could flourish today. I had a chance to work with some real greats over the course of my career. None more important than Leslie Revson, a chef who sadly passed away too early, but who has... She had a restaurant in New York City called 1/5, and it was at 1 Fifth Avenue. Great name. One of my godparents had a relationship with her. I wanted to work. This was junior and senior years in high school, and I wanted to work, a couple nights a month, basically staging, just learning. I wanted to cook in a real restaurant. I was cooking summers in a seafood restaurant in East Hampton, Long Island, called The Quiet Clam, and I wanted to cook in New York. And Leslie Revson, it's a great Leslie Revson story. There was a dessert that I would help plate because I was, of course, working on the cold side, which is where you stick anyone who's not very good. And she had a dish that was a pineapple carpaccio with like a pineapple ice cream and like shredded toasted coconut and a coconut tuile and a little sort of thing. And she had some rummy kind of creme anglaise sauce that went on it. And it was always served warm in a little tiny creamer pitcher. And the server would not pour it, which is very chic today. She would let the guest pour it for themselves. And I said, well, why don't we just put it on there? Because we're the kitchen. We know how much should go on there, etc. And she said, I want the guest to make a decision for themselves. And it engages them with the food. And I've never forgotten that. It was one of the most fascinating pieces of advice. And every time I'm plating a dish in a serious restaurant or even a concession stand that my company's operating, I always ask myself, how do we engage the diner in it, right? I just think it's a fantastic way to think about food. From Liz, hi Andrew, longtime fan. I know you have been around food most of your life and know a lot about a variety of foods and cultures, but is there one place, food, or culture that you learned from the most during your travels? Not even close. Top two, Mexico and China. And it's no, number one, I went there a lot, but also Mexican cuisine, pre and post contact, Chinese cuisine, historical, contemporary, city, country. Those two cuisines have the most varied regions, the greatest amount of breadth and depth, height and length. To me, in the world globally, there are the foods of Mexico and the foods of China, and then everything else kind of sits underneath that in terms of oomph. Barbara asks, when you're traveling for your TV shows and going from restaurant to restaurant, you taste an abundance of foods. Do you finish all of the dishes served to you? I finish the good ones. I don't eat till I'm full. I eat till I'm tired. And turning away food is something I have a real problem with. I also am always sharing with people, and I make sure recently, of course, over the last 10, 15 years, to let chefs know, hey, go easy on me, or small portions or whatever. But yeah, of course, I finish the stuff that's really tasty. I mean, I lick the plate.